Today in lesson 10, we're going to talk about identifying proportional relationships. But first, you are going to review some vocabulary from page 86 and 87 before we actually start this lesson. Now, our idea today is we're looking at how to find the constant of proportionality in proportional relationships and how to tell relationships are proportional. So question 1 says, how can you find the ratio of the total cost to the total number of downloads? Well, to do that, you would just take the cost divided by the downloads. When you're setting up your ratios for proportion, money almost always comes first. So even though money is on the bottom of our table here, it would be the money divided by the downloads to figure out how much it costs for each download. So now in question 3, it says, what is the ratio of total cost to the number of downloads when you download 2 apps? So when you download 2 apps, it's going to be $6 for 2 apps, and $6 for 2 apps will then simplify to 3. Please complete the other 4 and then check it with a video. So when you set up all of your ratios, every time, doesn't matter how many apps it was, the money divided by the apps will always equal 3. So question 4 says, are the data in the table a proportional relationship? Yes, it is in a proportional relationship. And what is the constant of proportionality? The constant of proportionality is 3, which means that it's going to cost $3 for every 1 download. Now try questions 5 and 6 and then check with the video. So question 5, I know that time is usually the denominator, so it would be people per hours. And I set up all of my ratios, and then when I simplified them, or you could divide and turn them into a decimal, none of them were equal to the same thing, so that one is not a proportional relationship. Now try question 6. So now question 6 says, when you mix 2 types of paint, how many different shades of paint do the students make? Well, when I set up my ratios of white paint to red paint, I got 2 of them. 3 of them have a unit rate of 3 and 2 of them have a unit rate of 2, which means that they made 2 different shades of paint, because those will have, if it has an equal unit rate, it will have an equal ratio of pink to red. Now question 7 goes with that. They want to know what shades of paint will be the most red and why. So for question 7, if we're looking back, it wants to know which ones are going to be more red. Well, a ratio of 2 means 2 white to 1 red. So that, and a ratio of 3 means 3 white to 1 red. So B and C are going to be darker red because they have less white for red. And A, C, and D have 3 whites for every 1 red. So it's going to be a lighter shade. Now question 8 wants us to graph those 2 lines and show a straight line graph of the proportional relationship. So once I've plotted those points, remember red is going to be the y-axis, so we will go over to the red number and then up to the white number. I can see that B and C are on the same graph. So B and C are on the same line if we're starting at 0 and drawing and connecting the dots. And A, D, and E are on a separate line. So it shows that those 2 different shades will be in proportional relationships. And we just answered question number 9. So what do they have in common? The ones that are on the same lines are the same shade. And it also said, what does this tell you about their relationship? So question 9, we should also say that they are in a proportional relationship. They are a straight line. They go through the point 0, 0. So there are 2 different proportional relationships in that table. Now, question 10 and 11, one of those is a proportional relationship and one of them is not. Take a look at it and see if you can figure out which one would be proportional. In questions 10 and 11, I'm going to make a table. So question 10, the rule is 2 times x plus 4. So if my x is 1, I'll do 2 times 1 is 2 plus 4 is 6. The next one I'll do 2 times 2 is 4 plus 4 is 8. And then 3 times 2 is 6 plus 4 is 10. And I can see that this will not be proportional because 1 divided by 6 is